Hi, this is Joel and Mike again. How to make money.
This is one of the best books I've ever read on residential investing, Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. We highly recommend it. And the next two slides come out of it. First slide is a great description of how, with appreciation and debt pay down, the equity is built in the property. So with the appreciation, the market value of the property increases, and with the paying off the loan, the debt goes down and the amount of equity is the amount built in between. That's what you want to grow. That's what builds wealth. Now on the second slide here, this is cash flow, and this is how cash flow increases. At first, it's just a little bit. So it's the rent less the expenses and vacancy, less the debt service as well, which is your loan that you're paying down. And over time, the rents increase, but your expenses and your debt service, that is your loan, don't really increase. But your rent increases, so your net cash flow increases over time. Sometimes your expenses also increase, but they're usually a portion of the rent, so they don't increase as fast as the cash flow. And at some point, your debt service will be paid off, and then you have much greater cash flow. Now we're going to talk briefly about the two types of returns, cash flow and equity position. Cash flow is the rents less expenses, just as we discussed, but it's also tax write-offs, which help to protect your rental income, so that some of those expenses you can write off of your income from your cash flow, and so you don't have to pay as much taxes. You can reduce your tax liability. Next is the equity position. We're not going to talk about how you can buy a property under market value or fix it up. There's lots of books and other information about that. It's really not a strategy that we promote, because we're recommending properties in other markets, properties in markets that are likely to appreciate strongly over time, and where the tenants pay and you have good income, so it's easy to pay down the loan.
Primary ways to make long-term rental income, pay down the loan, and value growth over time, which is appreciation. Cash flow, gross rents minus expenses equals net operating income minus the loan payments equals the cash flow at that time. Build wealth using leverage. Leverage you capitalize 2 to 5 times. Tenants pay for it. If rents are higher than expenses and loan payments, accelerated rents on reduced capital investments. So when the tenant pays the monthly rent, it should cover all the expenses and the loan payments.
Now, leverage is magnified by the amount of money you put down. So that didn't come out right. Basically, if you put less down and you have an increase in equity, then your returns are higher for the amount that you put down. And that's what this chart is showing. If you put 100% down on a property, which is $200,000, then with an increase of $10,000 in value from appreciation, it's a 5% return on your investment of $200,000. Now, if you bought 2 houses, both of $200,000, and got a loan on each of them, and you put 50% down, $100,000, then on each of those $100,000, the appreciation of the 10% or of the $100,000, sorry, $10,000 would be 10%. Now, going further, if you put 25% down or $50,000, that $10,000 growth turns into 20% return on your $50,000 investment. So as you put less down in the property, your growth in the property through appreciation provides a higher return on the amount of money you have down. Now, paying down a 30-year loan over time as the loan decreases, here we're using an example of a $200,000 property with $50,000 down or 25% down. And therefore your mortgage is at 4% interest and it's $150,000. You can see you start out at $150,000 and over 30 years it pays itself off. Now the returns that provides the amount of equity gained from it being paid off, that equity gain, that is the principal that's paid down in year one, is about 5.3% of that $50,000. So the $150,000 mortgage, as it gets paid down, the equity accrues, and your return on investment for your $50,000 down payment is 5.3% in the first year, 7.6% year 10, 9.2% return in year 15, which is halfway through the 30-year mortgage. Go ahead, Mike.
15-year accelerates wealth creation. This is where it gets real exciting. Paying down the loan in 15 years, $150,000 mortgage with $50,000 down. If you look at the chart, you can see that in 15 years, the 16th year, the loan is paid off. Year one, you're reducing your principal by $7,450 principal pay down, which is a 14.9% return reduction. So year 10, you did a $10,000, over $10,000, which is 21.3%. And then in 15 years, it's paid off. You did 26.1 return
Yeah,
on investment.
in the last year, it's 26% off of your original investment,
Yes.
26% return on your $50,000 originally invested. Now, when you compare the two, the 15-year versus the 30-year, you can see this is a percentage on the right-hand side, and this is the percentage return for the 15-year loan on that $50,000, and the percentage return over 30 years on that $50,000 that you put as a down payment. That's your percentage return on that $50,000. Now, appreciation, as you know, it goes up over time, but when you combine appreciation with the loan pay down, it can be very desirable. For example, I calculated out the 30-year loan, $200,000 property, 25% down, and over the 30 years, by the time that the mortgage was paid off and the appreciation, it grew at a total of 1,022% growth over that 30 years. Now the 15-year loan did the same thing. It grew at 570% of the $50,000 over that term. The next is leveraging the market cycle. As we showed you previously, there are 4 different market cycles, and some of them fluctuate and go up and down. This is a graph of the Sacramento market. You can see there in green, the Sacramento market, how it's fluctuated. You can see this dotted line is the US market over the same period of time. So the Sacramento market has been much more volatile than the US market over the same time frame. Now, what this is using an example of a property 5336 Elsinore in Fair Oaks, California. It's a duplex. It's one I'm intimately familiar with because I had family who bought and sold this property. So they purchased it in 1990 and it sold in 2004. It sold again as a bank-owned property in 2011, and I'm assuming here in 2021 that the property, if it were to sell again right now, what would its worth be? You can see if you purchased in 1990 and sold in 2004, you did really well, 320% growth over those 14 years. If you purchased in 2011 when the bank sold it and sold right now, you'd see a 277% growth over 10 years. So these are really good things. These are the things that you want to be purchasing and selling during these time frames, during this part of the cycle. Now, if you didn't sell at the first upturn and you let it go back down again and then sold again at the second one, you still over 31 years had a 470% growth. This is just from the value of the property, so the purchase price of the property itself. Now, if you bought in 1990 and you sold in 2011, or you bought in 2004 and sold in 2021, you didn't see as much growth. You did see some, but not a substantial amount. So the growth was pretty anemic. 51% over 21 years for the first one, 33% over 17 years for the second one. Now, what if you bought in 2004 and sold in 2011? Then you saw a 65% decline over those 7 years. So what's important is that you understand that the market cycle can dramatically affect the type of returns that you receive. So it's very important that you don't buy when the market's high, but you buy when the market's low in a volatile market. But if the market is not very volatile, you can see from the 4 types of markets that there are, that not all markets are as volatile as Sacramento is, and that some of them maintain their value over time. And if you're in a volatile market, then it's important not to buy at the high, but to buy at some point later when it's at the bottom or on its way up. And if it is at the high, then just go buy in a different market that's more stable. So thank you much for listening. We'll see you in the next one.